Bloody hell. Thank you. Hey guys, good early morning to each and every single one of you. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you're all looking forward to your day. Hope you're all looking forward to the rest of this week. And I hope you're all looking forward to more brand new adventures in all of your lives. First of all, do a massive favour for me. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit a tweet button, hit a retweet button, and remember to put the notification bell on at all times so you receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2024 on the channel, on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube with brand new videos, shorts, live streams, more brand new games, more brand new gaming, more brand new content, and much more brand new stuff planned for the rest of 2024 channel. So please subscribe to the channel and the community if you're all new. You're all amazing, you're all legends, you're all legendary, and welcome to each and every single one of you to the channel and the community. And welcome to your Premier League preview between Wolves and Manchester United on match day 22 of the 23-24 Premier League season on Thursday evening away at Molineux, 8:15 evening away kickoff, live on the telly as well, which is even more better for every single Wolves and Manchester United fan. And the first thing of all I'm going to say is I'm going to hold my hands up and admit that I was wrong about Wolves this season. Wolves at the start of the season were one of my predicted three to go down to the Championship. I thought they'd get relegated. I thought, the change of manager at the start of the season was going to absolutely damage Wolves for the rest of the season. But do you know what? Credit where credit is due. Gary O'Neill, since, he's walked in at Wolves, has done a magnificent job with the squad he's got available to him and the players that, was left behind by Lopetegui. Wolves have done all right. Like, I'm very, very surprised that, they're doing okay under Gary O'Neill. Like, I saw what Gary O'Neill did at AFC Bournemouth last season. And for me, he really, really struggled to, just keep Bournemouth above the dreaded dotted line in the Premier League bottom three in the relegation places. And when, Wolves appointed Gary O'Neill as their new manager, I was quite surprised and quite taken back that Wolves went for this manager to lead Wolves again to another survival season of Premier League football. But like I said, I'm going to hold my hand up and give credit where credit is due. Wolves, have done very well this season with the squad and the players they have. And Gary O'Neill, so far, has done an okay job. He's got Wolves just above mid-table, which is probably the expectations of the Wolves owners and board at the football club. But yeah, like, it is going to be an away trip. It's a difficult trip for Manchester United. When we always go away to Molineux, it's always a lot harder than what it looks. And Manchester United make it look a lot harder for themselves away from home when we're not at home. So Wolves are always one of those teams that always provide a really, really tricky test for Manchester United. And we always seem to struggle to get 3 points off them. I don't know why. Wolves is always a dodgy place to go. But away at Molineux, Manchester United really, really struggle to come away with any points. So I think for me at this moment in time, like, I'm not going to say that Manchester United are going to turn up and absolutely, do Wolves over. But I think it's going to be a really, really tricky game. Like, I look at the departure of so many Wolves players throughout, last summer's transfer window, and obviously this January transfer window, Wolves haven't really strengthened their squad where, Gary O'Neill probably wanted to strengthen just to keep Wolves just about safe. Like, Wolves aren't going to go down. Wolves aren't going to get relegated, and Wolves are going to be a Premier League club once again for next season. So again, like, it's one of those games really that you don't really want to take for granted that Manchester United are going to come away with anything. Like I said, we've always struggled to get points away. We've always struggled to win, quite comprehensively away at Molineux. And that Wolves fans, the Wolves supporters, they become the 12th man at Molineux, and they always get a tricky, tricky atmosphere for the away opposition coming to Molineux for a Premier League game or any FA Cup or Carabao Cup match, or even in European games that Wolves might be in through, previous managers before. But I think, Gary O'Neill has done quite a good job to, get Wolves where they are. Like I look at the number of departures that, the club had in the summer. I mean, for me, you're losing Raul Jimenez, probably one of your best strikers. You've lost probably your best midfielder in the club's history in Ruben Neves. And then, you're losing Podence. I mean, it's a lot of, rebuild at Wolves that, it's been tricky with the budget Wolves have got. And, Gary O'Neill has basically balanced this Wolves squad out very, very well. And in the previous fixture, when they came to Old Trafford at the start of this Premier League season, Manchester United really, really struggled. And I couldn't believe how badly and how poorly we performed. Like, a new manager bounce was clearly the effect that Gary O'Neill got out his Wolves players. It clearly worked to an absolute treat. And obviously, they only just lost 1-0 through a late Rafael Varane headed winner for Manchester United in the second half of the Premier League home game at Old Trafford. So again, like Wolves always seem to be a very, very tricky opponent for Manchester United to face. And, I want Manchester United to be able to, keep up a bit more consistently. We do need to keep winning every Premier League game we've got now just to try and somehow achieve European football for next season, which again is going to be extremely, extremely tricky for Manchester United to get next season, especially with the league position not looking very, very great at the moment. Manchester United, like I said, European-wise, Manchester United at the moment are nowhere near the Champions League spots. At the moment, it's looking like either Europa League or Europa Conference League, which neither one Manchester United fan or one Manchester United supporter wants next season. But if we're going to have to take it, we're going to have to take it. It's our own fault. We're going to have to lick our wounds from a very, very poor Premier League season, which we've been nowhere near the level I expected Ten Hag's side to push on this season. And, I think Gary O'Neill's side are going to give us a very, very good game. Like Wolves have still got players that can do a hell of a lot of damage to that Manchester United team. I mean, you've got Hwang, you've got Semedo still there at right back. You've got a few ex-Bristol City players there in Bentley, the new goalkeeper that obviously is now the Wolves' number one choice goalkeeping position at Wolverhampton Wanderers. So it's not going to be an easy game for Manchester United. It's going to be another tough slog on Thursday night. And with it especially being a 8:15 evening away kickoff, even more of a trickier test for me, because obviously the week Manchester United have had, especially the end of last week to the beginning of this week, the headlines have been dominated by a certain Manchester United forward, aka Marcus Rashford, which has been no truth to the matter, that, what he's done is unacceptable, what he's done is out of order, and what he's done is completely naive and quite frankly stupid for a guy that has got an MBE for services to getting free school meals for schools, getting a book deal, and clearly that MBE has gone to his head. And unfortunately, the headlines at the moment are being dominated by Marcus Rashford. And I think for me, a statement has come out from Manchester United, a statement has come out from the football club. And it does take some shadow and some light off this preview, because there was going to be a lot more topic, a lot more debate about how well or how difficult it's going to be Thursday, because it's going to be a tricky game. It's going to be very, very tight between both sides. Wolves will try and edge a point or edge a draw at best, or they might even sneak a tricky 1-0 win. But again, the headlines are being dominated again by Marcus Rashford. And for me, I think it's a major, major talking point that we've got to talk again. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano, they tweeted out the tweet earlier, the breaking Manchester United statement on Marcus Rashford regarding his behaviour over the last week and over the weekend is: Marcus Rashford has taken responsibility for his actions. This has been dealt with an internal disciplinary matter, which is an internal disciplinary matter, which is now closed. Marcus Rashford is obviously now back in training and is available for selection for the Wolves game for Thursday night. And I think for me, the debate is now, does Marcus Rashford belong back in this team for Thursday? For me, the answer is no. I don't think Marcus Rashford should be anywhere near this Manchester United squad or even considered for selection on Thursday. Marcus Rashford has had his time at Manchester United. Clearly, the MBE has gone to his head, and quite clearly the arrogance and the cockiness and, the ego has gone completely into his game now. It's overshadowed his form, and it's overshadowed his mentality and also his well-being. I think Marcus Rashford has got a lot of personal problems he needs to be dealing off the pitch. Clearly, he is heading one way. And I think for me, we know what happened there with Wayne Rooney and George Best. Once they went out drinking and clubbing, they were never the same player, or they never had the same die-hard attitude as a Manchester United Football Club player ever since their antics off and on the pitch has been described as an absolute laughingstock. And for me, it's going to be interesting to see if Marcus Rashford's in this team for Thursday. For me, I wouldn't have him anywhere near this Manchester United team ever again. I don't want him near a Manchester United shirt. I don't think he deserves another chance. I think his time has been long gone ever since the departures of previous managers before that have absolutely deserved to criticise Marcus Rashford's lazy arrogance and poor performances. And we've seen it on more than several occasions from Manchester United players this season. But Marcus Rashford seems to be topping the list of disciplinary and, quite childish behaviour. I think these footballers are taking a lot of granted at Manchester United. And I think Marcus Rashford's behaviour is not going to help the players. Obviously, the players themselves were very, very angry that Marcus Rashford's reasons why he wasn't available for the Newport game or why he was out clubbing and out drinking in Ireland last week, and obviously ran in sick the day before training, saying he couldn't turn up because he was feeling unwell. And all of a sudden, we get the statement yesterday that it's now a closed matter. It's been heard in house. It's a club inside disciplinary matter, and the case is now closed. And it's like we've just we've given him another chance. Like, players like this are going to ruin Manchester United's future. Players like this are going to take Manchester United 10 times back. And all of a sudden, it's like we've accepted their apology, and now we're sympathising with the player and letting them back in the squad, knowing what he's done, and everyone around him is fucked off. Like, if I was those other Manchester United players, I would be putting my foot down saying, I'm not playing in this team if Marcus Rashford's playing in it, because his antics off the pitch are not going to help the preparation. They're not going to help the morale. They're not going to help the confidence and the positivity that we need to take into Thursday's game. And clearly, Marcus Rashford's not in form. 3 goals this season is quite frankly pathetic. The reasons of burnout and I can't be asked, I can't be bothered is just a lazy excuse for a player that clearly the MBE has gone to his head. And clearly that ego now is bigger than his brain cell. And I think for me, Marcus Rashford, I don't respect the guy. I think he's massively overhyped. I think he's massively overrated. And I think for me, if a Manchester United player did that and I was the manager of this football club, you wouldn't be playing for Manchester United ever again. It's like they've just given him a smack on the hand and it's like, do you know what? Don't do it again. You're on a warning now. First time is a warning. Second time, you're close to being sanctioned. And the third time, get out the football club. And I think for me, we've gone with a softy approach. We have got a big game Thursday. We have to win. We have to get this Premier League form back up, because obviously when the last Premier League time out was, the Tottenham game, we bottled the lead on 2 occasions, which Manchester United really should have beat Tottenham at Old Trafford. Manchester United threw it away twice, and Manchester United again dropped points that a club like Tottenham that are out the FA Cup, didn't get far in the Carabao Cup, looks like they're going to get European football over Manchester United this season, and quite clearly are a banter club trying to turn into the new Arsenal, basically the B-Tech version. Manchester United dropped points there. United should have won, and the pressure now again is very much on Ten Hag's shoulders going into Thursday night's game. Wolves is going to be tricky. This is not going to be as easy as what people think it's going to be. It's going to be one hell of an occasion. It's going to be one hell of a night at Molineux. And I know this Wolves side are going to provide difficult opposition for these Manchester United players to break down. Wolves always seem to park the bus and then try and break the opposition on the counter-attack. And I think Manchester United have got to go there and dominate. We've got to dominate the game. We have to control possession. We have to create the most chances, and we have to start converting the goals we have in that team. You look at that Wolves team, I look at the players they've got. I mean, Pedro Neto, Hwang Hee-chan, you've got Matthias Cunha, you've got João Gomez, you've got Mario Lemina, you've got Paulo Sarabia, you've got Ait Nouri, you've got Jose Sarr. You've got Max Kilman, Matt Doherty, you've got Tito Gomez, you've got Nelson Semedo, you've got Dan Bentley. You've got a lot of Wolves players there that have got quality written all over them. And some of those Wolves players, if you look back at the Old Trafford reverse game on the first game of the start of the brand new Premier League season, you look at how badly Wolves were dominating Man United, and that was down to the quality of Hwang and Pedro Neto, Matthias Cunha. Like those three players there, I think would have made a real difference to Manchester United this season. And I think for me, we would have been a lot more consistent and we would have been scoring a lot more goals if we have had young, hungry players like them being in this Manchester United side, because this Man United side, what's been the biggest problem this season is putting the ball into the back of the net. And people, are hyping up the Newport County win in the FA Cup fourth round yesterday, thinking it was a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant performance of Manchester United. Manchester United was lucky this game didn't go to a replay and ended up having to play Newport again at Old Trafford, knowing we'd probably beat them. So Manchester United can hype up that FA Cup win, as much as they like, but Manchester United got away with it very, very lightly when they bottled a 2-0 lead when they were 2-0 up inside 13 minutes. If that was to happen again against Wolves on Thursday, we won't be winning this game. We are conceding way too many goals. We are not converting the chances we create on the opposition's goal. And when we are starving our main striker threat in Rasmus Højlund, then how are we meant to score goals? Clearly, our wingers have got very, very selfish. And I think for me, there's not very much topic of debate about what I would do Thursday. Like, we are, again, relying on a 20-year-old striker who, like I said, we paid 85 million for last summer. And remember the words of Manchester United, we're not going to overpay for a striker. We're not going to overpay for a striker. We're not going to overpay for a striker. The pressure on Rasmus Højlund now, especially with everything going on with Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial's out for 10 weeks. Pellistri looks like he's now going on loan to Granada. Sancho is gone back to Dortmund. So the only recognised front three United really have got pretty much will be the same three again on Thursday. It will be Garnacho, Højlund and Antony. And obviously after the game, there was a tweet put out after the game that, Sunderland fans basically said that if Manchester United can't see the quality of Amad and basically is very surplus to requirements, that Amad Diallo should return home to Sunderland and go back on loan to the club up on tier side. And Amad Diallo liked the post, but then a few hours later removed the tweet. So clearly Amad is not happy with, Ten Hag constantly playing Anthony on the right wing. Amad Diallo probably thought that he probably deserved to start against Newport County. And I can see his point. I can see his view. I can see his opinion. I probably, in that circumstances, would have picked Amad in a Newport County game. I wouldn't have expected Ten Hag to go as strong as I thought he was going to. But I wasn't surprised he had to, because the FA Cup is the only trophy and the only bit of silverware we've got left that we can actually win. We're not winning the league. We're out of the Champions League. We didn't defend the Carabao Cup. And we've now got the FA Cup left. And we've then also got to try and qualify for European football next season. So I can see why Amad was left out. But now, if Amad isn't going to be included, and if Ten Hag saw that light post that Amad liked it, Amad's then going to be out of the equation. So that's going to be no Amad, no Martial, no Rashford, no Sancho, no Pellistri. You're basically then stuck with the main front three again of Antony, Garnacho and Højlund. And again, on Sunday, look how many chances we created that Manchester United did not put away against Newport. That Garnacho one-on-one, when he had Fernandes and Højlund in the Newport County penalty area, unmarked, no one seeing them, completely free and ready to tap in, an easy tap in past the Newport County goalkeeper. Garnacho went for the shot and went for glory and basically took a quite easy chance of Manchester United to make it 3-0. The game's over, the tie's over. Man United are basically through to the fifth round of the FA Cup with Bristol City or Nottingham Forest awaiting them away from home in the fifth round. And what happened after that? Manchester United conceded 2 stupid goals due to defensive errors and due to the lack of, passion, heart, and commitment, again, that these Manchester United players get lazy, they get cocky, and they think the game's over and the tie's gone. At 2-0, that is such a dangerous lead. And if we were to go 2-0 up on Thursday, I'm not saying that's safe, by the way. That is going to be a really, really tricky lead to hang on to, because if Wolves get a goal back through the quality I know Wolves have got, then Wolves are then going to find that equaliser, and then the United 3 points, what were 3 points, are going to turn into a point. And we're going to be sat here Thursday looking at the same bloody problems over and over again. And I think for me, a lot of pressure is now on the front three. But again, if you look at it from the point of view again on Sunday, look where the goals are coming from. It's the midfield. The midfield is so being relied on. Like, it is. And people can say, well, at least Anthony and Højlund got on the score sheet. Yeah, eventually, because you look at the chances both of them had on goal. Like, Højlund had one shot on goal all game, and he converted it. He had one shot on goal. Garnacho was probably our biggest threat on Sunday. Those Newport County back four couldn't cope with Garnacho. So Manchester United, it was okay going 2-0 up inside 30 minutes, but the 2 goals are coming from the midfielders. And again, no wonder where the biggest problem is. If you've got a comfortable midfield three now, which my three again is now Casemiro, Fernandes and Manu, I'm looking at that midfield three thinking, right, we've got a solid foundation now. We build on that midfield and add more quality, like another 3 additional players who have got the same qualities as what the 3 current main midfielders are at the moment. Because I think Eriksen's now going to be surplus to requirements. Mount, I don't think we'll ever see in a Manchester United shirt again. Amrabat is going to go back to Fiorentina at the end of the season after this loan deal expires. And Scott McTominay, you don't need him. You don't need Scott McTominay. He's absolutely fucking useless anyway. So there's no need for McTominay to be in that team. So again, if you get rid of those 4 midfielders, just bring in another 3 that have got the same type of qualities that Manu, Casemiro and Fernandes have all got. That is what I should do. But you can't then again rely on those 3 new midfielders to come in and do the Fernandes, Manu and Casemiro role, when again, that front 3 are meant to be providing the goals this team is meant to be moving forward with. And I still stand by my statement. We do need to start building a team around Højlund and Garnacho and maybe Kobe Manu. That is what I think we need to concentrate on going forward, because young, hungry players like that will be able to pick off the weak and the aging and the tiring older players now that are coming into their last years in their career, because a lot of the old players in the Premier League now haven't got a lot of time left in their career. So that, again, for me, is what I would do now to build United's future, is build a team around these 3 hungry players to be able to get Manchester United where I think we can get to. I do believe we can win the league again. I do believe, again, that, we can win trophies. But if you can build a young, hungry team with young, hungry players like those 3, Manchester United will start doing damage to their rivals again. But again, the pressure's on for those 3 to deliver again. Because if the goals dry up on Thursday, again, you're wondering, where's the source of the goal going to come from? Where's Manchester United going to be able to find the back of the net? Because I don't think Marcus Rashford's going straight back into that team, by the way. I think, for me, his career is done. And if a big offer comes for him in the summer, I'm sorry to say, Manchester United are a much better team without Marcus Rashford in it. I've seen it on more than one occasion this whole season long. Ever since it started back in August 2023, Manchester United are a better team without Marcus Rashford in it. And we are so much better. And if a big club came in with a big offer, 100 million plus, I'm sorry to say, Manchester United fans, I'm taking this and getting players that we can build on, because you've got to think to yourself now, the main problem next season again is going to be scoring goals. And Manchester United are going to try and bring in a top elite striker to put the ball back into the back of the net a bit more consecutively. If you go and buy 2 young, hungry strikers that are a bit, still developing and still earlier in their career, the same problem will repeat itself again next season. So I think, for me, the opportunities now is cashing on Rashford. And for me, I'm not ruling this out, by the way. There's one player that can replace Marcus Rashford at Manchester United, and that's Kylian Mbappe. I think if Manchester United can somehow convince him to come to Manchester United or Man United do a swap deal with PSG and send Rashford the other way, I'm doing that in a heartbeat. Like, I will not miss Marcus Rashford at Manchester United if they got rid of him. After what he's done in this last few days, that is the crossing the line now. Don't start him Thursday and don't dare just put him back in the team just because there's been a public statement and a public apology put back in it. I'm seeing fans and supporters jump into Rashford's defence saying these players do deserve time off. These players do have a life outside of football. But if I'm playing for Manchester United, I'm sorry to say, I'm not going out doing stupid things like clubbing and drinking and trying to get every girl to love and like me and every person to be around me just to grow my ego a little bit bigger. I'm concentrating on what's best for my life and my career. If I'm Marcus Rashford, I wouldn't have done what I did because at the end of the day, he's probably now feeling really fucking sorry for himself, feeling quite frankly stupid and quite frankly very, very pissed off that he's probably been docked 2 weeks' wages and probably has been given another lifeline, basically a smack on the hand saying don't do it again. But how many more apologies are these players going to have to make before time is up? Because that, for me, Marcus Rashford is going to affect them around the squad. And if I was those players, I'd be saying, what the hell is he doing in this team Thursday? He's been a liability all season. He's only scored 3 goals all since the start of August. And he's going straight back and team thinking all is well, like sunshine and roses. I'm sorry. Get bloody rid of Marcus Rashford. I do not want him in this team. I'm sorry to say, enough's enough now. Marcus Rashford is becoming a liability at this football club. He's making the club look a complete, utter embarrassment on and off the pitch. But again, Man United have gone with a softy approach. It's all right, Marcus. We'll forgive you. We'll put a statement out saying he made a mistake and he's owned up to his responsibilities. Oh, does he now? So what if he goes out and does it again next week? Or the week after? Or before the last game of the Premier League season? Or maybe if we get to the FA Cup final, what if he does it before then? You know what's going to happen then? We don't win the FA Cup, which, is our last trophy we can win. So the focus has to be on mentality side, get this team's mind set on Thursday because United are going to want no distractions. They're going to want no problems being forced into their game on Thursday evening. They're going to have to go to this Wolves side and absolutely get the points that we need. Because if we don't get top 4 and we don't get in the Champions League, I can see one conclusion of what's going to happen next season is that Manchester United will sack Ten Hag, bring in a new manager start of the season, and then there'll be a new manager bounce, and then they'll say, I want Marcus Rashford kept. But look what he's doing on and off the pitch. He's going out drinking. He's going out clubbing. For me, in my view, in my opinion, this might sound really, debatable. I don't think these players deserve a private life. I don't think these players deserve a life outside of football. Their focus needs to be on, I'm representing Manchester United. I've got this shirt on my chest every single game for this club in Europe, in the cup competitions, and especially in the Premier League. I'm representing the fans and the supporters, and I'm also representing the club on and off the pitch, and I need to become that role model. And knowing what Marcus Rashford's done, I'm taking that MBE off him because he's an absolute spoiled little brat and a spoiled little baby who thinks he's bigger than the fucking club. Any player that thinks they're bigger than the club, Sir Alex Ferguson would have shifted out because he's, look how many players we've had to get rid of that have become a problem, that have become a liability, and that have become overstepping their marks. Marcus Rashford is heading down the same line as George Best. He's heading down the same line as Ronaldo and De Gea and Wayne Rooney. He's heading down that line where eventually Manchester United are just going to terminate a contract and tell you to get the fuck out. I don't want that affecting the team for Thursday because we might have won Sunday, but United scraped past Newport County, and I don't want again the Marcus Rashford headlines debating that whole game on Thursday. Because if Marcus Rashford plays and he plays shit, the fans and the supporters and pundits are going to be on him, and the press will be on him as well. So look what Rashford's done. Look at the morale now. Look how lack of confidence the team's got. They're going to not look to Rashford now because look what he's done off the pitch. And the players have got every right to ignore him if he starts. I wouldn't be talking to him. I would be getting the ball to him. I would be playing it to the players that are actually going to fight. because those players, to fuck up a 2-0 lead was something else against a League Two team, 3 leagues lower than Manchester United, right? Newport, who are fighting relegation to the National League for next season. They won't go down because they're shitter teams in League Two than them. We should have won that game by a lot more. And if Marcus Rashford would have got his game head on and thought, do you know what? I need to act like a responsible adult here. There's a lot of young people that would love and would dream to be in the position that I am. I'm playing for Manchester United every week. I'm wearing a United shirt. I need to be setting a mark and setting the standards of what these youngsters can be like with a career. I don't look up to Marcus Rashford. I think he's been crap this season. I would have sold him in the summer. I would have sold him now after what he's did and gone and got some strikers and wingers that can actually put the ball in the net. Because I thought we were brilliant without Rashford. That team is so much better without him. But because we've just given him a slap on the wrist, it's like, do you know what? We're going to give you another chance. You've been in the team Thursday. Oh, look, I'm back. No, I'm sorry. No, I would not have him in that team starting lineup. I would not even have him on the bench. I'm sorry to say, Marcus Rashford's career at Manchester United is over. It's harsh, it's brutal, but it's pure bloody honesty. Players like that do not belong at Manchester United who are going to fuck up our season. Because Marcus Rashford has got a spoilt little brain on because he thinks he's bigger than everyone else. And I'm sorry, please just get rid of him and get rid of his ego. Because he ain't any good anyway. No wonder he doesn't even get picked for England because basically Southgate thinks he's crap. Just like me, Southgate's actually got a brain. Like, Southgate isn't stupid, and nor am I. So for me, Marcus Rashford's nowhere near the team. And then obviously, the African Cup of Nations is also finished. So Manchester United are going to have players back like Sofian Amrabat and Andre Onana. I mean, I wasn't impressed by Buendia at the weekend. I mean, he let in 2 stupid goals. Onana probably would have kept out. The 2 goals we were conceded was down to defensive liability and down to poor goalkeeping. The 2 goalkeepers we brought in the summer are a joke. Like, I'm not being funny. I would have rather have kept De Gea now. And I hold my hands up. We needed to get rid, but the way the club handled it was disgusting. And I completely agree that everyone that is sympathising with David De Gea at this moment in time, because he's not even at a club now. No one wants to go near David De Gea, and I think that's disgusting because he's still a very, very good goalkeeper. He's a world-class player. He helped Manchester United win several Premier League titles. So, at the end of the day, United really have made a mistake because if Onana goes straight back into that team on Thursday, is he going to be ready? Is his mind going to be on, what the fuck was it playing for Cameroon where I played once in how many group stage games and got knocked out straight away, knocked out the group stage, didn't even get past into the quarters of the last 16. They didn't even get there. Cameroon got knocked out and embarrassed in their group. So will, Onana's mind be on the game Thursday? Will he go straight back into the team? I think Ten Hag again has got a very, very big decision to make regarding the starting goalkeeper for the Wolves game. I think for me, we need 2 new goalkeepers again in the summer. I think Buendia needs to be sold. I think Onana needs to be sold as well. So United again have got to really start sorting this out because otherwise this is just going to get a hell of a lot worse in the future with the goalkeepers we've got. I thought Buendia again was at fault for both the goals on Sunday, and I think if Onana was in goal, he would have saved both of them quite easily. So, but again, down to poor defensive ability and down to Manchester United not converting the chances that they had on the Newport goal. I mean, it could have been 6-7-0 in the first half, and Man United would have probably let Newport at them in the second half, but would have kept a clean sheet. If United do that on Sunday, if United did that on Sunday, which they did, and they do that again on Thursday, I think United are going to be in big trouble trying to come away from Wolves with any points. Because, again, how many goals have we conceded? I think we've nearly conceded 60 goals this season since we brought in these new goalkeepers. So, again, quite clearly, there's a problem there. The back four we've got ain't any good anyway. So, again, when you've got liabilities like Diego Dalot, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Rafael Varane, Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, and Luke Shaw and Malacia, that's eight players in our starting back four that have cost United this season. Malacia's not even played at all this season, which is no surprise. He's crap anyway. And then you've got Johnny Evans, who Man United should have went nowhere near. They only went near him because he was a free transfer and it didn't cost the club fuck all. Harry Maguire should have been sold in the summer. Lindelof should have been sold in the summer. Diego Dalot should have been sold in the summer. So should have Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw as well. Like, how many more times is this back four going to stop making the mistakes I'm seeing every United game? Because I see it every single fucking week and the same problems occur in every single match. And it really fucking infuriates me because the only decent centre-back I think this club's got is Lisandro Martinez. And even with both Martinez and Varane starting against Newport on Sunday, look at the mistakes. Like, clearly Manchester United, there is something deep down that we do not know about that's going on at this club. Of why we are conceding the goals we're conceding, why we are playing the football we're playing, and why this season we are out of three main competitions we're not going to win, and we might scrape the FA Cup, and everyone's going to jump to the heroics of Ten Hag thinking it's been brilliant. I feel sorry for Ten Hag. I actually feel sorry for the guy. I would love to be a fly on the dressing room wall at Carrington and at Old Trafford. And I would have been giving these players an absolute fucking rocket because the football we've played this season has been shit. The players have been really, really embarrassing to watch in several games this season, not just in Europe, but in the league. We couldn't even defend the Carabao Cup. And do you know what? I want to be excited for the Wolves game Thursday. I love Premier League football. I love a late evening kickoff. I love to be able to watch it with my family and my friends and be able to enjoy a game of football, stand by and support the club that I love with all my heart in Manchester United Football Club. But when it gets to the point that it's becoming frustrating more than loving, you can see why I get to the views and opinions I say, because I'm open and I'm honest about how I feel about the way this football club is trying to head into the direction that I don't think is very good. And I think for me, everyone is getting on Ten Hag's back, blaming him for the season we've had, blaming him for the results, blaming him for the Champions League exit, blaming him for the Carabao Cup defence. I mean, if anyone's going to jump to any conclusion, go and look at the bigger picture. The owners and the board fucked Ten Hag over this season. They used financial fair play and sell to buy all summer long in the 23 summer transfer window, when sell to buy at financial fair play is a complete utter load of bollocks. It doesn't exist. It's a complete myth. And Manchester United didn't want to spend any money in the summer. They've done it in January, which we're going to have a video for that, for day 30 assessment of the summer transfer window tomorrow in the early hours of Wednesday morning to discuss everything regarding Manchester United's January transfer window in 2024 this year. And, you know, I look at the squad and it ain't very good. Like, I know we've got players coming back and I get that we had a hell of a lot of them back for Sunday. But again, like, I look at the squad and I think to myself, if that squad would have kept itself fit, where could it have been? Well, if Man United would have got Harry Kane and Osimhen and Gakpo, João Felix and Frimpong and Sabitzer permanently, I just look where we could have been. And we would have been in a lot better shape than where we are. We aren't good enough. And Wolves, again, is going to be tricky. I mean, the three Wolves players I fear the most is Matheus Cunha, Hwang Hee-chan, and Pedro Neto. Like, I would have loved to have had three young, hungry Wolves players like that in a Man United shirt, because I know all three of them can score goals. They can do so much damage to the opposition. And it really, really infuriates me that Manchester United are stuck with so many BTECs in this team that, you know, I don't think are up to playing for this club. Like, apparently we're going to try and sell, you know, 250 million's worth of players in the summer and try and raise 250 million. Some of these players aren't worth a fiver. Seriously, I really, really do think that. I really, really do not. I think that, you know, I think some of these players aren't even worth a £5 note. It's like walking into sweets and things, and you realise you want to go and get your sweets, and all you've got is a fiver, and that's it. The limit you are putting on your sweets to buy from the sweet shop, you've got a fiver to spend to get the favourite sweets that you want to buy and treat yourself to. Some of those United players, I wouldn't pay a fiver for because they're absolutely shit. We're lucky that, we won Sunday, because if we go out the FA Cup, this season's over. I still think, for me, logically, if we were to lose Sunday, I would say good luck to us winning our next Premier League home game against West Ham on Sunday evening, because again, that is going to be really, really, really tricky, because you look at the quality of those West Ham players, and I think Wolves could do a surprise result here. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it ends in a Wolves win. It wouldn't surprise me, because that front three, it terrifies me. It really does, because they played so much better us in the reserve fixture. You look how many chances Pedro Neto had, Matthias Cunha, and also Huang He-Chan. You look at the chances they had at Old Trafford. They could have won that game 3 or 4-0. They had a penalty from a foul by Onana on the Wolves centre-back late on in the 90th minute. Wolves should have had a penalty. It was a clear, utter penalty. And VAR somehow didn't award it to Wolves. And I hold my hands up. I thought that decision was correct. It wasn't a penalty. But if we look back on it now, Man United should have had 3 lesser points. So Wolves are going to be seeking revenge. Wolves are going to be up for this game. Wolves also had a cracking FA Cup result against West Brom at the weekend, which turned really, really nasty. I mean, I could not believe the scenes at the Hawthorns between West Brom and Wolves, but it's the derby, innit? They're both, they're both Midlands clubs, so I wasn't surprised, but I was surprised by what happened on the pitch. I mean, the fans and supporters fighting each other, and it is scary. Like, I don't want to see things like that. I don't want to see things like that in football, because it's frightening. People should feel safe going to watch a game of football. And when you've got scenes like that happening and it starts turning ugly, it frightens you. It scares you, because you think to yourself, my God, I thought, Wolves deserved the result against West Brom. They won 2-0 and deserved to get through again to the 5th round of the Emirates FA Cup. So, again, like I said, they are going to be seeking that revenge on Thursday, and they're going to go for Manchester United. They know they can beat us. They know they've got the players to do it. They know they've got the goals in the team to be able to do damage to Manchester United. Can I see them getting a result? I think Manchester United might just sneak it. If Man United can win this game by 2 or 3-0, I would be very, very happy with that result. I'd be happy with the 3 points, because obviously we do need the points to chase down top 4. We still need to qualify for Europe, and we need to win a trophy. That's the most important thing for me, from a perspective that a Manchester United fan wants, is that we have got to start winning away from home a bit more, and we've got to, start winning at home at Old Trafford as well. We need to start being a bit more consistent on the pitch as well as off it, because when things off the pitch start causing problems, it will start affecting things on the pitch, and then all of a sudden it comes crashing back down to earth right in front of Manchester United's eyes. I don't want that to happen. We can't afford that to happen. We need to win this game. We need to win against Wolves, and if we can do that, great. But, like I said, it's always a tricky place going to Molineux. Those fans always get behind those Wolves players, and the atmosphere at Molineux is fantastic. I mean, I've been to Molineux before. When I went to my first ever secondary school, I went on a school trip to Wolverhampton for the day, because obviously we had, in our lessons, we had pen pals up in Wolverhampton. And obviously we went to Wolverhampton for the day. We went to Wolves Stadium, got a stadium tour and everything. And I can actually remember that, which, it does go back, and it's a fantastic stadium. I mean, it's such a great stand where they've built all the new stands now. So the extra fans will, they'll bring that Wolves side on. They will build that atmosphere, and they'll get behind these Wolves players, because they've got behind Gary O'Neill this season. And you look at some of the teams they've beat. They beat Man City at home. So again, this isn't a wet and away banker for Manchester United. This isn't as an easy game as what people think it's going to be. I think it's going to be really, really tough. I think this is going to be a really, really tough game for Man United to get anything from. But we do need the 3 points, and you're going to have to hope that these players put in a performance that is better than what we saw against Newport on Sunday, because we scraped by. We got lucky. There was nothing glamorous about that result. It was get lucky United, because if Newport took this to a replay, we're playing an extra game. And that would have been in another 2 weeks' time. So, I want to start keeping a few more clean sheets, and I want to start seeing Manchester United bang the opposition by 3, 4, 5 goals every game. That is what we need to start seeing, and hopefully that starts with Wolves on Thursday. I'm going to go for 2 or 3-0 United. That's going to be my score prediction. But all I'm going to say is, let's see what happens on Thursday evening. So, I hope you enjoyed this Premier League preview. Hit the like button and the share button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to this channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video. Hit the tweet button and hit the retweet button. And remember to always remember to put the notification bell on at all times as well to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2024 on this channel. We've got brand new videos, brand new live streams, brand new shorts coming up, brand new games, brand new content. The current games we're playing, we'll still be doing them. We'll be bringing 2 brand new games in February in Avatar, The Frontiers of Pandora, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 will also be coming to the channel and the community as well. More previews, more match reactions as well. And obviously, like I always say, join me for the final score and the Premier League match reaction between Wolves and Manchester United on Thursday evening. Hopefully, we can get back to winning ways in the league. Hopefully, we can start keeping a clean sheet, and hopefully, we can start seeing Manchester United win by 3 or 4 goals, or even 5 away from home, and start building this Premier League momentum back up. Let's start turning this season around, and let's try and somehow qualify for Europe. So, enjoy the rest of the day, enjoy the rest of the week, stay safe, be nice, be kind to each other. You're all legends, you're all legendary, and I will all see you all on the next one. Thank you.